This video falls under fair use. Fair use allows commentary, criticism, and reactions. What's up, everybody? In today's video, I got some explosive allegations to show you. It's about Jay, Beyonce, and Desiree Perez. You see, there was a time when Jay-Z was untouchable, a symbol of success, cultural dominance, and power. But lately, the narrative has started to shift, and more people are beginning to ask questions that were once whispered behind closed doors. Allegations have quietly surfaced from multiple women, not about anything criminal, but simply about feeling uncomfortable around him. That alone might not mean much on its own, but in today's world, perception matters just as much as reality. And when that perception begins to erode, so does influence. Add to that the increasingly visible symbolism Jay-Z and Beyonce have leaned into, particularly the repeated use of the pyramid hand sign, and you start to see a growing discomfort among fans. Once embraced as creative expression, those gestures are now being reinterpreted by many as potential evidence of a connection to secretive groups. This has sparked conversations online that are growing louder by the day. People are questioning why this imagery keeps showing up and whether it's just aesthetic or something more calculated. The mystery used to be part of his appeal. Now it feels more like a barrier between him and a public that is beginning to feel left out of the truth. And it doesn't stop there. Increasingly, some voices in the entertainment space have hinted that Jay-Z may allegedly have had a hand, directly or indirectly, in the downfalls of others. Names like Tory Lanez and Kanye West get mentioned, not with hard proof, but with a trail of timing and circumstance that fans are starting to notice. There's no direct blame, just speculation. But speculation is powerful, especially when it repeats often enough.
I had to fight. Of course, if I didn't, I wouldn't have got my foot in the door and fought and kept myself, because I would be doing all this stupid other. And no, I didn't want to drip myself in blood and cover myself and swim in goop, in black goop, and like wear devil horns and sell a record. Or be a witch, or be that, all of them. And that is just facts. And no, I'm not going to bleach my skin. No, I'm not going to nose job. No, I'm not going to filler. No, I'm not like do. No, because I'm 100% content, happy, and at peace with exactly how God designed it.
I wrote a lot of letters while I was in there, man. I was doing this thing for Vibe magazine, just writing letters from prison, just expressing myself and things I wanted to get off my chest, things that were on my mind, and I wanted to let people know. And I wanted to show them, even though I was inside, locked in a prison, I wanted to show them that I still had no fear in my heart, about speaking my mind and letting people know what time it is. There's no reason for me to fear because it's really nothing. There's nothing they can do aside, and I'm not afraid of that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think right now they're at the point where they would take it that far. I think they like this plan that they got into effect, and it's been in effect for hundreds of years or whatever. I think it's so embedded in people's brains now. They got people so brainwashed in this world that they don't even really care anymore. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, go ahead and tell the people all you want. We got these people so brainwashed, there's nothing you guys can do about it. That's how they feel. You know what I'm saying? And when I say they, I mean, the powers and the structures that's in place, that's there to control us. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I always say, like, God always wins at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Good always gonna beat evil at the end of the day, man. No matter how bad it's looking, you know what I mean? No matter what's going on, you know what I mean? Good is always gonna win. You know what I mean? But right now, you know what I mean? The devil definitely got the world in the headlock. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's definitely crazy. And it's at the point where they got it so far. Like I said, they don't even care. They put it all in our face. You know what I mean? It's the information age. It's everywhere. It's all over the internet. What's going on? It's all in these books. It's in movies. It's in, it's all over the place. And they got people so brainwashed. You know what I mean? With all the fashion and jewelry, especially like in the hip hop world. In the hip hop community, in the urban communities where I come from.
People begin to form conclusions based not on facts, but on patterns they think they see. And when those patterns involve individuals facing major setbacks shortly after falling out of Jay-Z's good graces, it raises eyebrows. Add to that his growing distance from the everyday fan. Jay-Z has built a life so elevated, so exclusive, that the relatability he once had is gone. The public sees curated appearances, luxury beyond imagination, and an image that feels increasingly managed. Where once people felt inspired, now some feel alienated. Even with Beyonce by his side, their partnership, once a symbol of unity, is now under its own scrutiny, not because of scandal, but because of repetition. Fans are beginning to grow tired of seeing the same signs, the same coded gestures, and the same elusive messaging. It's not hate, it's fatigue, and fatigue leads to detachment. Jay-Z may still be powerful, but cultural power is fragile.
Let's go back. You had mentioned Pimp C earlier. With that being said, did Pimp C really have a tape of somebody in the industry that would break the internet? Still trying to find out who was in this Pimp C tape.
All I can tell you, there was a famous R&B chick, and it was a guy that was getting money at the time. And, you know, Pimp, he used to be in the studio. And every now and then he had a camcorder, so he was able to get some footage. And he wanted to do something with the footage, but I don't know why he didn't do nothing with it. But if I could got a hold of that tape, I'd be a billionaire. Whoever it was, they went to me, man. I know TMZ would have paid a bank for that one, man. But yeah, it is a tape. And if you read the comments, a lot of people figured out. Okay. A lot of people figured out because, you know, people that was in Houston at the time, they know who was a little loose, you know, as a Montana goose. You know what I mean? So, you know, they also know who was having money at the time. So it's not really hard to figure out. But, you know, because, but no, the only reason why I won't tell it because Pimp C is not here.
It doesn't disappear all at once. It fades, slowly, quietly, until one day people stop watching, stop listening, and move on. That's how downfall begins in this era. Not with a crash, but with silence. The silence of a fan base that no longer connects. The silence of former supporters who once defended him, now questioning their loyalty. Jay-Z's legacy is cemented, but legacy doesn't protect relevance. And right now, relevance is slipping.
I'm gonna post this picture because this is a good picture. We're gonna put this picture inside the interview. Okay. I'm gonna show it to my wife. This is Vicious. Bundy was supposed to be here. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But he had to go take care of family emergency. Yeah. This was Bundy's rap partner, ex-mom. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. And that's Buddy. Yeah.
Oh, who's Buddy? Okay.
When y'all ask me who is Buddy, so tell me about Buddy. Can you?
Buddy the my cousin.
You got that from a reliable source.
Yeah.
Where did you hear?
So the story I heard, it was multiple people inside the hotel room. Female, I think maybe be a male, another male probably. So
it's not exclusive.
So C went to the restroom and Buddy said, "Look, y'all don't say nothing. I'm gonna play a joke on Pimp." And he poured something into his drink. And when he came back from the restroom, he started drinking it and almost immediately started throwing up blood. And what made me believe that, I packed C bags after he passed.
From that same hotel?
From that same hotel. I pulled back the cover of the bed and was blood in the bed. So that's what made me believe that story to be true.
Now, we talked about this prior to cutting on the cameras. And I never talked about it outside of saying Buddy. You know what I'm saying? And this guy was from Jackson, Mississippi. Like you and I said that you had heard the same thing, that he was going around bragging.
Yep.
That he had done this.
Yep.
What?
Yes, in the streets of Jackson.
And I heard it from someone who at one point really didn't know I was even affiliated with Pimp.
Please consider subscribing to this channel and leave a comment. See you in the next video.